Hello, you beautiful legends, and welcome to Blunt Force Healing podcast. This is episode number 553. 553, yes. So it's 553 days since this project started, and while I did probably 2 or 3 episodes live before, they were more of a test episodes and the bonus episodes rather than the actual recording that I am doing now. So today I decided to try and make it a live episode properly and use it as I used the pre-recorded episodes in the blog posts as well. Of course, the blog post is not written yet, and not sure about what I will write in it, but it will likely be a regular update from today's hike or trip to Glenveigh National Park, which I am heading now. So I'm about, I would say, probably 10-15 kilometers or 10 miles roughly from Letterkenny, I think. Not sure because I didn't turn on the map, so I don't know exactly how much I have left until Letterkenny, but it doesn't matter because I will be passing through Letterkenny towards Glenveigh National Park, and hopefully get a one-way ticket for the shuttle bus towards the Glenveigh Castle and Gardens, just to save about 5 to 50 minutes of walk. I don't mind walking, I just am very much aware of time and want to make sure that I'll use it in the most optimal way. So I want to explore more beyond the castle and not repeat the same way that I do when we walk towards the castle and back. Of course, I won't be able to catch the shuttle bus on the way back, and also I don't mind because not only I won't be able to do it, but it will be a pleasant walk after hours when the gardens and the castle are officially closed and there is very little to zero non-tourists on the site. Albeit, looking at the weather today, which is very dry and nice, assuming that it's the same in Glenveigh National Park, in the valley, there might be more people on that lovely Sunday afternoon and evening than usual. From today's highlights that happened so far, there was supposed to be a match between Drumbar FC or Drumbar Football Club and Erne Wanderers that was planned for being played at home here at Drumbar in Donegal Town, but because the pitch was waterlogged and it was impossible to play the game, it was rearranged to play away in Ballyshannon, where is home ground of Erne Wanderers. The problem was that the hour changed, which was okay because I didn't mind going a little bit later. But while we came there with Julian, and he joined the drum bar team, which are under 12 development team. It turned out that there was some mix-up, and Earn Wanderers misunderstood the actual ask, and their team wasn't under 12 development team, but it was actually under 14 team, so a bit older players, more skillful, taller, and I would say more capable, or at least more experienced. And that was their premier team, because they don't have development team for under 14s. So not only these were better players and players that actively train and are good, but also older. And unfortunately for the guys, that wasn't the end of the disadvantages. There was not enough players from drum bar team, so they had to play 10 against 11, and sometimes even 9 against 11. So immediately in the first half, you could see that it was disastrous to some extent for drum bar team, because I think by the end of the first half they were losing 6 or 7-0. And then obviously the coach explained to the guys what is going on, so they shouldn't be worrying about the result, because it doesn't matter. What matters is that they use that opportunity to train against a much stronger team. They train positioning, they train returning, defending, and all of the things that they usually do on the training and in friendlies. So they continued to play. The coach was great, making sure to not allow them to lose their, charisma and motivation, even though they were losing a lot. It was about pretty much using that opportunity to train, but in a real match. And the second half was equally disadvantages, but despite getting or conceding the same amount of goals in the second half, the guys managed to pull back twice. So they scored 2 goals in the, I would say, later part of the second half, despite being already tired and playing against much stronger team and older boys. And the funny part is that the guy that scored is from the younger generation, so he should probably still more in under 10 or 10 years old team, but because he's fast and skilled, he was advanced into the under 12. He's younger, he's the shortest of all, but he makes it up with skills and dedication and the play style. So even though they lost in Shannon 15-2, again they were in a very much disadvantage, because the guys were younger, they were less experienced, and there was only 10 and 9 of them depending on the time of the game. And obviously they are development teams, so they are expected to still develop and not have enough experience. So it was an interesting game this morning, or actually at noon. It was 12 o'clock when they played in Ballyshannon. And despite losing it, it was a very important experience for them. And I spoke to Julian, I spoke to the coach afterwards. It was a decent, I would say, exercise for them, and a very good preparation for further matches that will happen, because the league just started. So there is more matches coming, and Julian has a good chance of moving towards Premier Team from the development side. But both himself, the coach, and myself, we are more than happy that he plays still in the development team, because that gives him more play time and more opportunities to, get that experience and play better before moving towards Premier Team. So that was our morning. After that, when Julian came back and focused on getting his shower done and other stuff at home and rest, I went for a short walk with my wife. We did about 5 kilometers on our usual loop in Donegal town. So I already have 5k in my legs. With my wife, the weather is perfect because it's dry. Yesterday it was wet, windy, and it was terrible. It was miserable weather yesterday. But today we have a dry weather. It's very nice. So I hope that my hike will be pleasant, and I have that Sunday walk done and get that mental relaxation done as well. So outside of that, Julian and Elizabeth stayed in a house. They will organize the rest of the day according to their needs. I will only be available on the phone, so if they need anything, they can reach me. But this is, I would say, me time. Now, I'm going to use the remaining daylight for my own mental side, mental relaxation, and to get the most of it and be just with my own head. So this live episode will be today's update, and whatever I do on site in Glenveigh National Park, I will likely record separately and maybe post as tomorrow's episode, in addition to whatever I write about today's trip to Glenveigh National Park in the blog post. So for now, that's it. Thank you very much for tuning in. I saw a couple of people dialing in for this live, but whoever watches it, listens to me, and reads the blog post, I highly appreciate your presence and being the supporter of this project. Thank you very much for tuning in. I hope you have a great rest of the day, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are. Stay tuned and see you in tomorrow's episode.